$10,
$100,
$500.
$1 million.
No, we're not doing a million, Jake. We're not doing a million. Stop trying to make it a million. We're doing 1,000. Just $1,000. $1,000.
Oh baby, it's what we'd buy August 2023.
You've seen a lot of our videos. Just go ahead and click the subscription button. Click subscribe. It helps us a lot. We'd really appreciate it. The video starts right now. It's play money, y'all. We are going to give you our choices for what our picks would be if we were forced to spend $10, $100, $500, and $1,000 on MTG right at this moment. These are just our picks, and this is for entertainment. This isn't financial advice. We don't tell each other in advance. We do these in secret. We make our lists and we find out what the other one picked as we're shooting this. So, Jake, I want you to start us off with your $10 level. I need you to get down into the comments and tell us what you're gonna get at these different levels. Jake, what have you got for 10 bucks?
For my $10 pick, in the spirit of Commander Masters, this is a card that always has a dip whenever it's reprinted, but it's always reprinted at Mythic. It's Mikaeus the Unhallowed. It's a combo piece. Everybody knows that Mike and Trike plays with stuff like Walking Ballista. It's a very strong card. And the etched version and the regular version from the set are under $10 right now. So if it's a card that you don't have, this is a card that I really like, and it's a card that becomes affordable whenever it gets a reprint. Then it slowly trends back up. I also like, if you have a little bit more money in your budget, I also like the beautiful alternate art, or you can call it full art version. The profile version of the card that's been printed in this set looks really cool too. Yeah, that's my $10 pick. It's a pretty simple one, but it's a very strong card, and originally made its debut in Dark Ascension, and since then it's been a powerhouse ever since.
Nice having the foil etched of this now. You can see how the foil etched is currently under, you know, the list version. Obviously the box topper version, your secret layer copies, those are going to be a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, either the foil etched or the borderless here, like you said, the profiles. I'm a big fan of these cards, especially at 10 bucks. This is going to win you some Commander games. Get you a Triskelion and go to town.
I love a card that ends the game, and this is a card that does it. It does it in a combo kind of way, but it's just such a powerful card that it's hard to ignore, and if you don't have it in the collection, it's a good pickup.
Earlier in the day, Jake and I were planning out a couple of weeks ahead for our content, and the topic of Double Masters 2022 came up. Naturally, I had to go check a lot of the card prices. Jake, this beautiful Scott Fisher version of Bloom Tender is around the $10 mark right now. You've got a market price of about 10. You can see TCG Player Direct here at 12. I'm counting it because honestly, right now at 10 bucks each on these Bloom Tenders, you could pick these up and you could just get maybe 2, maybe 3 of them and have all the Bloom Tenders that you need for your entire Commander collection. Each color among permanents you control, add a mana of that color. This is going to thrive in 3, 4, 5 color decks. That's where you want to play this, because at that point you're adding 3, 4, 5 colors of mana to your mana pool off of one Elf Druid tap. This version to me is my very, very favorite version of Bloom Tender. We've had quite a few of these, and looking at the different prints here, it's typically this art from Eventide that we've seen. We did get a Secret Layer series if you're into that art style, and the foil etch from Double Masters 2022, but the borderless one to me is my definitive version of it so far, and I think that this is a good time to just pick these up at 10 bucks and not look back.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of gone through a nice little dip down there and seems to be possibly trending back up. If you don't have it, I like this version as well. I think this is a fun pick. I think yeah, I mean, obviously it's a great card. If you don't have a Bloom Tender in the collection, this is probably a good pickup. Double Masters 2022, make sure you're subscribed because we're going to have a video coming out about that one in the future as well.
I'm doing my $100 pick first, and Jake, what I am picking is an extended One Ring. I just want to go ahead and grab a copy of this. I'm pretty sure by the time we're looking back on this video next year, this card is going to be banned in every format. And this is going to be a huge overpay. But I've played with the ring. It's bannable. It's very strong. You can see what our foils are doing right here, going absolutely insane. But the extended non-foil seems to be holding nicely right between 50 and 100. Currently around $60 market price. So I'm shooting under a little bit on my $100 target here. But if I could pick one up at 50, I would probably just go ahead and pick up two and have a flyer one in case the card is never reprinted, which is going to be very difficult, and it doesn't really get banned majorly across the board. It should hold that price, and you know, maybe in 2 or 3 years I can flip one of them for 100 and have gotten myself a free extended art one ring. I'm just telling you, this card is ridiculous. If you haven't played with it, I want to make sure I grab a copy before the potential moves on without me. And so I feel like this is a little bit of a FOMO buy for me right now, because typically my suggestion to collectors would be wait a year, wait a year and a half, wait until you literally need it, and the longer you wait, probably the lower the price is going to be. But to me, Universes Beyond, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, some TCGs still know how business is done. It's a really difficult reprint probability to me, and I am freaked out by the possibility that it'll never be reprinted, and you've got sort of a mini reserve list thing going on here. So without trying to provide FUD and FOMO for everyone watching, $50, I'd try and target two of these. I'd be happy with a $60, maybe $65 pickup on this, and I would have myself a copy of the One Ring in extended form.
I really like this pick. I think that this is fun. I do think that it's a very strong card because I've played with it and I've played against it as well. It is absolutely busted. It's a card that I want to pick up that I don't have a copy of. This could have gone on one of my picks. Notably about those foil prices, that only appears in that little promo booster pack that comes with the commander decks. That's why this foil price is just so crazy, and we've talked about that in other videos. At your $1,000 level, I'm gonna guess that this isn't at your $1,000 level. Would you buy this at 1,000 if you had the money in pocket to pick up the foil version of this? And you had to spend the 1,000 on Magic. You could go big reserve list. You could get something from Legends, or you could go foil version of the One Ring.
It's tough for me because I'm not that kind of collector. And so who I am as a collector has a really hard time spending $1,000 on a single card. But do I think it's a terrible investment? No, because again, the reprintability on this just seems so low to me that foil in extended with this art, you're never going to see it again, in my opinion. And so
it seems tough, right? It seems like a really tough thing to reprint. I'm right there with you. I think that this is a fun pick. I think it's a really strong card, and I do think that there's the potential if you get in at $50 and you get two of them and then you give it some time. I think you do end up probably paying for one of those rings with the other one, and you end up just getting one for free. So yeah, I like this pick a lot. At $100, we have a secret layer that has 20 days left, and these are just, we say this every single time about secret layer products. Buy it if you like it. At this point, don't feel like you need to be a completionist and get all of these, but from the current summer super drop, because I like goblins, because I like skeletons, and because I like the color red, I would go with 3 layers at the $30 price point, meaning don't get it in foil. And I would get Goblin and Squablin because it comes with some really fun gobos. It's got the Muxus. And then I would go with Bad to the Bones, which has amazing art. That's a big thing about these secret layer products. If the art speaks to you, that might be enough. It might be something with not a lot of value, and that's okay. Just get something if you like it. I love all the cards in this. You get Reassembling Skeleton and some other stuff, and
Tiny
then also
Bones.
Tiny Bones is in there. And then at the bottom we have from the band the Mountain Goats. There's a collaboration, and we have 10 different mountains here. Now, I know a lot of people are going to complain about this. They're going to be like, what? It's just 10 basic lands. But I like what they did with this. I like that they're all different. There was a collaboration here, and these were built, I believe, around the plane Lorwyn. Is that correct, Joel? Or something like that? They were kind of like something around there. There's a breakdown of it, but I just really like the art on all of these. I think they look really cool. Yeah, it is Lorwyn.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, 10 mountains, you could get 10 mountains for 10 cents somewhere else, but specifically this layer, I think it's cool. And then it's also worth noting that each secret layer has a secret card that comes with it. So we don't know what those are for this, or maybe some people on Twitter have already posted, I'm not sure, but I like these 3 layers and they come in at just under $100, or probably just over after tax and shipping.
We've got a full breakdown of this entire layer on the channel. Just search Summer Super Drop 2023 Jake and Joel. You will see my dumb face in a very YouTube style with a Hawaiian shirt on the thumbnail, and that'll give you the full breakdown on this. Yeah, I like these picks. If you want them, if you like them, get them. That is the ultimate advice of the secret layer. Out of this one, you'll get a cool Tiny Bones to use as a commander. Same thing with Muxus or Shattergang here if you want that. You get some cool goblins regardless.
Tiny Bones. I don't have either of those. Yep. So like for me, that's a big selling point as well. It's like if I already have the Tiny Bones, if I already have the Muxus, maybe so. Yeah, I don't have either of them either. Joel just told us what his $100 level was first, so now it is my turn to go first. And at the $500 level, I am going with a Lord of the Rings Universes Beyond Collector Booster Box. Even though Post Malone has the One Ring and it has been found, there are still serialized soul rings in this product. There is still the big epic IP crossover that is Lord of the Rings and Magic the Gathering, which I think is going to be tricky to reprint. And I think a lot of the art is going to be specific to this box and this product, but mainly I like the serialized soul rings. The Surge foils are pretty cool, but being able to open serialized cards that are extremely rare is a big deal, and not all of them have been unearthed yet. So for me, this is a buy the box, keep it sealed. I'm not saying buy this and open it. This is specifically if you have $500 and you had to buy MTG product and it had to be a sealed product and you weren't buying like a dual land or something like that for 500, I would go with a collector booster box of Lord of the Rings. I do not hate it.
Yeah, my next question for you was going to be, is this an open or keep it sealed? And I like this at keep it sealed, Jake, at your $500 level. That is the exact reason that I chose my $500 level. And that is the commander decks. We want the set of 4.
Oh,
we're going to get 2 sets. These are about 250 each. And so at my $500 level, I'm doing the exact same. I'm going to get 2 sets. One's going to be for me and one is going to be to hold, because I just feel like the same thing that I said about the One Ring. The rest of my list, full spoilers, the rest of my list is all Lord of the Rings stuff, because right now I just don't feel like this product is going to act the same as a typical product where we're checking in a year later and all of it is just ridiculously down. Now, FUD, FOMO, Joel's the worst. I'm doing the thing right now. What we encourage people not to do, and I'm encouraging you not to do it. Don't listen to me. This is just my feeling. And I would be happy. $250, $240, that's a little bit more than $50 a box, right? And $50 a box, that is kind of like, I'm okay with paying that for a commander deck. I think that the potential exists for maybe 2 of these to be $100, $150 boxes over the next 3 or 4 years. The Sauron and the Frodo Sam one are the ones I'm talking about.
There's some really good cards in these.
Yeah. And it's the theme too. How many people have started playing again or started playing anew because Lord of the Rings crossed over with Magic the Gathering? So I just feel like, because this is the first major Universes Beyond booster set with 4 commander decks included and all that comes with a full set release, legal in formats, you know, I really think that this is a safe place to invest some right now, because either just get these for $240. I think that's a decent price. Like I said, a little bit more than $50 a box. Or
60. Yeah, 60 a deck.
There you go. And so it's just a little bit more than normal, but not outlandish. And I really think that if you go ahead and get 2 of each, you're gonna be paying for your Lord of the Rings decks over time if you keep 4 of them sealed. And so very similarly to you, Jake, I
It's
just think
also
that $500, it's a good time to park that money in Lord of the Rings. And this is like long ass hold, right? That's what you're
yeah.
thinking on the collector
Yeah.
box
Well,
too.
I mean, look at how
Long
long it
hold.
took for Edgar Markov, the Vampiric Bloodlust
Right.
deck, to really just blow up. That
Yeah.
deck was $25-$30 on the shelf, and now it's a $310 deck just
Well,
because
and
it's
that,
so hard
dude,
to find.
that commander is hard to reprint too, but not as hard to reprint as Sauron, Lord of the Rings, as
Well,
Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit.
The other thing I like about your pick, Joel, and why I think this is good is these boxes also have the lottery factor. Yes, you know what
Yep.
you're getting, but they all have
Small
those little small chance in those promo packs, those abbreviated collector booster sample packs. And that is the only spot to find that extended art version of the One Ring in foil.
Mhm.
Which is absurd. If you do find that, that's $1,000 lottery ticket right there, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I like this pick too. I almost like this pick more than the Lord of the Rings collector box. But that is funny that both of us were on that same plane for that $500 level.
Yeah, it's weird, Jake, because typically I would look back 2 or 3 years to make my list for this and be like, I never purchased the X Commander decks, so I'm gonna grab those with this. But it's just so rare for me to only go back one set. But I just really feel like this is a value-wise is a safe thing, and it's a thing that I want. I want to play with these 4 decks, just like with the Warhammer ones. I think that it's cool to just have 4 commander decks that are all the same IP, that's not MTG IP, to sleeve up and play. And
our buddy that he bought all 4 of them, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to edit them. I just like them being their own self-contained game.
That's
where
it.
It's like, it's like you want to play Lord of the Rings Commander.
Yeah,
and
this is a bigger IP, way bigger than Warhammer. And so,
oh yes, definitely.
It's just more people are going to be into it. I'm going to be able to pull these out and be like, oh, y'all want to play Lord of the Rings Commander tonight? These decks are fun. They're powerful out of the box. That's where I would park my $500 this month.
Tell us what you would do with 1,000 MTG dollars.
Here we go. For my $1,000 level this month, I told you, I spoiled it. I want sealed Lord of the Rings product right now. And look, I want chat to get into the comments and also give me a second comment. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I need you to tell me, should I be getting the case of set boosters for 1,000? It's under 1,000. Or should I be getting draft boosters for under 1,000? Now, let me tell you kind of where my thinking is on this. These are cheaper, $875, but comparable. $875, $962, really not a huge difference. Let's look at the chart on the draft boxes. This is the case. It is 6 boxes of each. The chart on this is going from under 800. Now we're creeping up toward 900. I feel like people are wanting the gameplay experience as a potential use of these boxes more than just a couple extra foils in the packs. You know what I'm saying? And so this is kind of I want you to get out in the comments if you're watching this and let me know which one of these you would prefer, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is my $1,000 this month is going to be a case of either draft or set booster boxes for Lord of the Rings. And it's for different reasons, like more collectability here, more chance at foils. I guess the real question is, because I'm not opening these up, if I do get these, the potential exists that like 1 box, 2 boxes, or, I'll just retain those for my personal use and put the others in the fireproof, waterproof case. But the 2, maybe I like have out and, we'll randomly do some drafts of Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth. But the set boosters could be worth more long term because they have the higher collectability factor. I don't know. That's where I would spend my $1,000, Jake. Which way would you go?
All right, so I see where you're saying with the draft boosters is you're going to have people that in the future can be like, hey, let's draft. These packs are made for draft.
Right.
That is, there are enough cards in there to be able to do a draft, and so you're able to play with this product. The set boosters, I almost like the set boosters less, and the reason is because there are no serialized cards in here. There are foils and stuff, but I think that if you're going with a sealed product that isn't the one with serialized soul rings in it, then I think I would go with the draft product, just because you do have that playability factor. So I think if I'm a local game store and I've got a bunch of Magic products sitting on the shelf, I think the Lord of the Rings product is going to be something that people perk up for and are like, oh, whoa, what's that? Oh, yeah, we're doing Lord of the Rings has been out of print for a while, but we're doing a Lord of the Rings draft because people really like that.
Yeah.
People might come out of the woodwork to do a little bit of Lord of the Rings gameplay later on. It has the IP crossover, so there might be more people interested in it. Whereas
Exactly.
some other products, once they're out of sight, out of mind, people are just like, oh, okay, what's the next thing? People are already burnt out on Commander Masters, and it just came out,
That's my $1,000 level, though. I would definitely be able to get a case of either one. And so that's where I think I would park it for this month.
At my $1,000 level, I am working on completing my dual land set. The only dual land that I have in my collection with blue is a Tundra, so I still need Volcanic and Trop. And so this is kind of like where my mind is at on this product, is like, Underground Sea is the most expensive, so that would probably be the one that I get last. But a Volcanic Island, moderately played or lightly played, something around the $500 to $600 range would be awesome. And then also I would be trying to acquire a tropical island that's also lightly played. These cards, before they went through this big correction, before we got 30th anniversary edition, these cards were at, oh man, they were much more expensive, but now we have seen them drop in price. If I could find a Volcanic Island around $500 to $600 and a tropical island around $400, that would be my goal, would be to spend $1,000 working on my dual land set. I mean, that one looks pretty nice. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if this makes it near mint or if it's just getting a pass because it's old, but the card's in really good condition. $450. This one's sold already. Just trying to find a good comp for what you could potentially pull on the TCG marketplace. I mean, looking at the Volcanic Island here, this is a moderately played. Obviously you can see from the back of it, it's definitely seen some love, but it's not in terrible condition of it.
Yep.
And,
and I don't care. I would happily take it. Yes.
Yeah. So like $505. This one sold moderately played. I think this is a pretty good pickup here. And eventually you'll have it picked. What are you going to do for your 1,000 once you're out of dual lands?
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll buy some of that Lord of the Rings.
Go after some of those serialized soul rings.
I would, at the $1,000 level, there's part of me that would, if I had the 1,000, I would kind of take out a flyer on that insanely expensive one ring foil. That seems like honestly kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, if it's that hard to find and if there's that many people that want the one ring in like a super pimp version, that seems like the most pimp version, because they do have the one with Gollum's hand going after it that's from that panoramic thing, but that one is just an auto include. And so that $1,000 one ring. And look at that promo one. The promo one is kind of an interesting pickup too. The pre-release one that has the stamp on it,
2023 stamp.
Yeah, that seems like it seems like the chase card in the set for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at this, just remember, as far as the foil prices go, that this one is interesting. So we're kind of tangenting back to this one, but remember when you're thinking about this one, that this one you also kind of have to tell the story of as well, because an extended foil typically doesn't really mean much. There's occasionally cards in that extended foil that break through, but at this point, extended art, box topper, whatever you want to call it, at any given point in MTG's history, it's just not as special anymore. However, if you're not aware, this is a foil that is only found in one specific place, that specific place being the collector booster test pack.
Sample pack.
Sample pack.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the right word for the precons. All the precons come with that sample pack now, and that's the only place you can find the foil of the extended of the One Ring. So just like I had to tell you all that, it's not like an instantly parsable, oh, that's a ridiculously expensive card. But
right.
Yeah, you know, grab it, grade it. Hopefully it comes back a 9 or a 10. And just be like, let me tell you the story of the One Ring extended art file
that I held for 10 years.
Right, exactly. But
Yeah.
at $1,000, I mean, you can't go wrong with 2 dual lands, right? I was poking fun at you, but this is never going to be an unsafe place to park some cash in MTG. This is not financial advice. Nothing is financial advice on this channel.
Those, my friends, are the picks for August 2023. What we'd buy. As always, we want to know in the comments what you would buy. And also, I can't wait for you to roast our picks. Let us know what you thought of what we had to say.
We're live every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. If you want to come talk MTG news and ask us what we think about various things, we'll be there. Come hang out. We'll talk to you. Other than that, I'm tapped out. We'll catch you later.
Bye.